Actor Gwyneth Paltrow is being sued by a 76-year-old optometrist over who's to blame for a ski collision that took place on the bunny slope of a Park City, Utah ski resort. During testimony this week, Paltrow told jurors, who are you going to believe? Some eye doctor who nobody ever heard of? Or the woman who's made millions telling women to steam clean their vaginas before shoving a hornet's nest up there? I'm going to believe the woman who's made millions telling women to steam clean their vaginas before shoving a hornet's nest up there. Gwyneth Paltrow, and I wish I were making this up, Gwyneth Paltrow is now recommending rectal ozone therapy, which might explain why her company is named Goop. Paltrow appearing, again, I wish I was making this up, Paltrow appearing on a wellness podcast this week said she's never felt better ever since she began shooting ozone into her rectum. You know, in a few short years, we've gone from worrying about a hole in the ozone to worrying about ozone in the hole. Practitioners of alternative medicine call this rectal insufflation, while others call it a relatively plausible excuse for sticking things up your ass. You know what would make the rest of us feel a whole lot better, Gwyneth? Putting a cork in your mouth. Have you tried that? Have you tried putting a cork in your mouth? During this week's visit to Kiev, Prince William negotiated with the Ukrainian soldier, seen on the left, to get the Ukrainian soldier, seen here on the right, to admit he stole the hat he's wearing from King Charles's wife, Camilla, at Queen Elizabeth's funeral. Yeah, that's the kind of hat Camilla would wear at a funeral, or ascot, I believe. Well, later that day in Ukraine, William met with President Zelensky and a team of generals for a strategy session on how best to neutralize a certain American sister-in-law. In Moscow on Tuesday, meeting with Vladimir Putin, President Xi Jinping excuses himself, saying he must go to the bathroom and do number 5, which is code for beef and broccoli. This portion of the David Feldman Show is brought to you by George Soros, bringing you one world global government and FEMA death camps since 2005. Well, because it's all about egalitarian awareness, French riots always offer a choice between smoking and non-smoking. Yes, we must be egalitarian. This is the view of Joe Biden attending a congressional luncheon, looking through Marjorie Taylor Greene's right ear and straight out through her left. If you were going to look at Joe Biden attending this week's congressional luncheon, and this is the view. This picture was taken going through Marjorie Taylor Greene's right ear and straight out through her left, because there's nothing there. Well, once the world's most difficult and prestigious, the Tour de France this month became the stinkiest. Yeah, that's got to be tough, right? Poor guy. A coward like his father before him and his father before him and his father before him, during riots, French gendarme Michel always stands behind his idiot friend Marcel, the human shield Balzac, and says, "Move forward. I got your back. No, go forward. Don't worry. I'm right behind you. Just move forward. Just rocks and bullets. Keep moving forward." Receiving the much coveted 3 stars from Michelin, executive chef Fateh 2x4. Executive chef Fateh 2x4. His new restaurant, Street, is single-handedly responsible for the rise in popularity of garbage bag to table French cuisine. It's quite delicious. garbage bag to table French cuisine. It all started at the restaurant in Paris named Street. Executive chef Fateh Fateh, 2x4. I'm taking the night off. After defacing the French presidential palace this week to protest Emmanuel Macron's decision raising the retirement age to 64, famed graffiti artist Jacques-Son Polak tells protesters his message is only for people who are not too stupid to understand it. Some tickets to see Bruce Springsteen in Buffalo are now selling for $5,000 apiece. A working-class hero, the boss, says he wishes he could charge $5,000 apiece for every ticket, but the $5,000 tickets are reserved solely for fans who are financially strapped. The rest of you have to pay full price. Only the fans of Bruce Springsteen who are financially strapped get the cheaper seats at $5,000 apiece. Because he knows she hates him to the core of her very being, Donald Trump only fakes sip glasses of water handed to him by his wife, Melania. White House insiders say Joe Biden is remaining silent on Donald Trump's legal problems, partly because he doesn't want to influence the criminal prosecutions, but mostly because Biden can't remember who Donald Trump is. The Senate confirmed Daniel Werfel to be the new commissioner of the Internal Revenue Service in a vote 54-42, winning the support of 6 Republicans when, under oath, he demonstrated how, as IRS commissioner, he would personally audit Megan Thee Stallion's ass. Wow. That's how you get the Republican vote, I guess. While angry protests continue to mount on the streets of Paris, with garbage cans and eggs tossed at gendarmes trying to maintain order, the French police union is now insisting President Emmanuel Macron lower their retirement age to 25. To mark the 20th anniversary of America's illegal invasion of Iraq, George W. Bush decided the best way to honor the soldiers he sent into harm's way would be by getting the old war cabinet back together again and try and solve the series finale for ABC's The Goldbergs. Isn't that sweet? That's the best way to honor the troops he sent into harm's way, trying to solve the series finale for ABC's The Goldbergs, the war cabinet. Well, because he's 80, Joe Biden must be reminded that what he thinks is a shiny, bright light summoning him over to the other side is in fact his son Hunter in the Rose Garden smoking crack. Wrapping up their big Moscow meeting, Presidents Xi and Putin presented each other with memory albums featuring their favorite moments from the summit, including photographs, handwritten notes to each other, crushed flowers from the dinner banquet, and pressed human toes. You can always tell Donald Trump is thinking about his daughter Ivanka by the way he absent-mindedly starts making the jerking off motion with his right hand